This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Final, live from the Tone O'Neill Studios in Jackson at the Fred McLeod Sports Desk. I'm Harry Von Stuttgart, announcer. As always, this program presented by the L2C Media Network. Now, with the headlines and the details in the world of sports, here's the Baxman, Steve Baxley. Baxman, happy Monday. Yes, it is a good Monday. How you doing, everybody? I am Steve, the Baxman Baxley, and I welcome you to the humblest abode and the most humblest show you will ever find next to Nick Riquetas. That's right. We got a fully loaded plate, and our sporty balls are looking good, America. So, let's get to it, folks, and get rid of all the scores as we start with the NBA. Don't forget, Tuesday night quarterback is now the place to be as we select 5 games that will get the full review, and the rest will just get, the overly mentioned. Boom. Thank you. So, with that said and done, thank you. Let's get to the NBA scoreboard. And as always, all the scoreboards we give you tonight and every night are presented to you by Caesar Sportsbook, who reminds you that we are all Caesars. Now, yes, I have never done a sports book in my life, but I think I'm going to do one just to see how it is. And I asked Dan O'Toole of the team of Jay and Dan, what he would say about that. Do we do the under or do the over? Well, he zapped me back, and this is what he said. His advice, and it is total advice: always take the over, never the under. And thanks to folks like Kenny Mayne, who did a little video for one of the sports books, we now know what the over-under is. And we'll tell you about that on Saturday. Actually, we'll tell you that on Friday and a whole lot more. See, it all ties in with sports. So, with that said, let's get to it, shall we? And if you see something with 4 legs hop on me, that's just my cat Uno. So let's get started. With 7:08 left to play in the third period or quarter, either will suffice. The Portland Trailblazers are losing to the Los Angeles Clippers 73-52. We got a lot of finals, so let's give it to you. In overtime, Celtics beat the Charlotte Hornets by a score of 140-129. The world champion Milwaukee Bucks showed all of us why they are indeed world champion defenders. 119-109 win over the Indiana Pacers. Chicago Bulls over the Toronto Raptors, 111-108. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Detroit Pistons, 122-104. Miami Heat over the Orlando Magic in the Battle of Southern Florida and Middle Florida, or just Florida in general, 107-90. Brooklyn Nets over the Washington Wizards, 104-90. The New Orleans Pelicans over the Minnesota Timberwolves, 107-98. And the Cleveland Cavaliers, let's give them a fullness applause for their victory over the Denver Nuggets by a score of 99-87. Yeah, we gotta put batteries in the we gotta get our sound effects machine fixed. Anyway, how are they doing right now in the standings? Would you like to know that? Yes, every Monday we will check in, and then we won't be checking in with them until All-Star break. So here we go. In the Eastern Division. In the Eastern Conference, we got, and remember, folks, I do believe it is the top 8 get to go, or is it the top 10? No, I think it's top 8 or something like that. Either way, we'll figure it out, won't we? Yes, we will. Gee, will we? Yes. Ah, yes. So it'll be okay. Thank you. I think we found okay. We got the ruling. So here we go. The top 6 right now are Chicago Bulls 4-0, Charlotte Hornets in second 3-1, along with the defending world champ Milwaukee Bucks, also with 3-1. New York, Philadelphia, and Miami are all at 2-1. And again, this is early in the season. New York in 4th, Philadelphia 5th, Miami in 6th, Washington in 7th. Or now we go 7 to 10. Washington 2-1, Atlanta in 8th, 2-1, Brooklyn in 9th, 2-2, as is Boston in 10th place, 2-2. The rest are like this: Cleveland in 11th, Toronto in 12th, Orlando in 13th, Indiana 14th, and Detroit bringing up the rear, 0-3. Oh my God! In Western Division, how are they doing, you may ask? Well, here's how they're doing. Golden State on top, 3-0. Utah in second, along with Denver. They're 2-0. Memphis in 4th, Minnesota in 5th, Portland in 6th. Minnesota in 5th at 2-1. Portland in 6th, Dallas in 7th at 1-1. Phoenix in 8th, Houston in 9th, San Antonio in 10th, Sacramento in 11th, Lakers in 12th at 1-2. New Orleans in 13th at 1-3. And you got the LA Clippers 0-2 in 14th. And bringing up the rear at 0-3 is Oklahoma City. Hey. Anyway, that's it for your basketball. Now, how about some hockey? Huh? You want some hockey? We'll give you some hockey. And let's take you to the scores of hockey. Once again, some, if not all, of tonight's combatants did not do a Molson 3 stars, which is silly, but we have to do the way we have to do it. Okay, all is final and all is golden. Panthers over the Coyotes 5-3. Flames over the Rangers 5-1. Blue Jackets over the Stars 4-1. Sabres over the defending champion Lightning 5-1. Hurricanes over the Maple Leafs 4-1. And is that all? No. You got the Capitals over the Senators 7-5, and the St. Louis Blues over the Sacramento Kings, over the LA Kings 3-0. Gee, I took them to Sacramento. Wow. That would have been a trip. Unforgettable. Mehaps. Okay, and the Monday Night Tilt, if we can get over to the Monday Night Tilt. Okay, what happened in Monday night, you may ask? Oh, I'm glad you did. Why? I have no idea, but it seems fun. Okay, we're having a little tech issue here, guys. Thank you. Come on, we need to get to it. Thank you for all your cards and letters. All right. Week 7 has concluded. The Monday Night Football game has proof of that. And as we do, there we are. In one of the most strangely tough games, the New Orleans Saints defeated the Seattle Seahawks on the night of the Mannings' return to a Monday Night Manning cast. Yay! Saints defeated Seattle 13-10. Winston for the Saints had 222 yards and a touchdown. Kamara was action-packed for 51 yards, and he had 10 receptions for 128 yards, 1 touchdown. For the Seahawks, Smith with 167 yards and one touchdown. Collins, 16 rushing attempts for 35 yards. Metcalf, 2 receptions, 94 yards. And guess what? A touchdown. Yay. So there you go, Monday night. Will that be one of the 5 that our staff will to give you the full details? Well, we won't know until Tuesday. So come on in, set a spell, and we'll see you on Tuesday night for the return of the Tuesday night quarterback as we pick 5 of the week's best games, give you the full recap, and the rest of them, they just, get minimal mention. But what a game that was. Yes, indeed. What a game. Okay, do we have anything? We did the NBA, we did the NHL, boom, boom. We did the NFL, boom, boom. What do we do now, you may ask, you may inquire? Oh, we have to explain to you what happened last night. Last night, we were into our show, and we had a little storm, and that storm knocked our power off till about 3 in the morning, or about 3:45 in the morning. Finally came back on. But so when we got blown off the air, we got blown off the air. Wowst. How big of us. So we're back on the air, and we got a lot of catching up to do. Like, for example, let's give you the NASCAR story. And our story begins. That's right. We got some good old story here. Where is our story? Where is the story? The story of NASCAR. There we go. Okay, let's on Sunday, at least for the top 10ish. They were in Kansas, folks, and let's give you the race resultatu, or are we going for just a recap? Let's do a recap. Recaps are fun. Kyle Larson is the luckiest man on the face of the earth. Why is that, you may ask? I'm glad you did. Because ever since his return, he has literally gotten checker flag syndrome. And it's really doing a good job for him. Kyle Larson did the heavy lifting on Sunday, leading 9 different times for a race high 130 laps, ultimately crossing the finish line in a hefty 3.619 seconds ahead of the field to earn a NASCAR Cup Series best 9th win of the season, 15th of his career in the Hollywood Casino 400 at Kansas Speedway. Now it is the 3rd consecutive race win for the 29-year-old Californian, and the 2nd time this season he's won 3 in a row. The last time a driver won 3 straight races in a season was in 1987 when the late 7-time champ Dale Earnhardt accomplished the feat. Now, as important as a milestone and positive playoff outcome to Larson's Hendrick Motorsports team, however, Sunday's victory also comes 17 years to the day that the storied organization lost 10 people, including Rick Hendry's son Ricky and brother John, in a plane crash near Martinsville, Virginia. In Victory Lane, Larson's number 5 Chevy team turned their hats backwards in tribute to Ricky's favorite style and pointed upward in tribute to the organization's beloved lost members. There was a lot to be proud of. Larson has 4 race victories and a runner-up finish in 7 playoff games this season as the series holds its final playoff race next Sunday at Martinsville. The outcome will determine which 4 of the current 8 playoff-eligible drivers will advance to the November 7th season finale, able to contend for the NASCAR Cup Series championship. Larson's Hendrick teammate Chase Elliott was in 2nd place Sunday, nursing a car with some damage after he hit the wall, pushing for a win in the final laps. Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch, who are not playoff eligible, and Joe Gibbs Racing driver Denny Hamlin, a playoff driver, rounded out the top 5. William Byron, who won his fourth stage of the year, and playoff driver Martin Truex were 6th and 7th, respectful, followed by Christopher Bell, playoff contender Joey Logano, and Austin Dillon. At least 6 of the 8 playoff drivers, including Larson, endured some competitive drama during the competitive afternoon that saw 23 lead changes. Notable was the early exit for Team Penske's Ryan Blaney. He entered Kansas ranked second in the standings, but his number 12 Ford was hit by Dillon and sent into the wall as the two ran among the front runners with only 44 laps remaining. Blaney's car was unable to continue, and he ended up 37th on the afternoon, dropping from second to fifth in playoff standings, 1 point behind Kyle Busch, who finished 28th. Strong winds and season pressures made for action-packed runs all afternoon. Some cars scraped the wall and could continue, like Larson and Elliott, but others, such as playoff drivers Busch and Brad Keselowski, who finished 17th, and Truex, had to pit for repairs and rally back into contention or point-saving modes. Heading into Martinsville, Larson has the only automatic entry into the championship four with his wins last week at Texas and this week in Kansas. Elliott is now second in the standings with a 2-point edge over Hamlin. Fourth place Joe Gibbs Racing driver Busch has that 1-point advantage over Blaney and a 3-point edge on his JCR teammate Truex. Team Penske's Keselowski is 6 points behind Busch, and his Penske teammate Logano goes into Martinsville 26 points below the elimination line. Back shortly. Okay, sorry about that. The series moves to the Martinsville Speedway next weekend for Sunday's Xfinity 500. That'll be at 2 o'clock on NBC, the Motor Racing Network, and NASCAR Radio on SiriusXM. The top 4 ranked drivers then move on to November 7th NASCAR Cup Series Championship at Phoenix Raceway to decide who will hoist that massive hardware. Here's some inspection notes for you. The race winning number 5 Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of Kyle Larson passed post-race technical inspection. However, you can't say that for the following. The number 20 Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota of Christopher Bell had 2 lug nuts not safe and secure, which will be a fine and a 1-race suspension for crew chief Adam Stevens. The number 14 Stuart Haas Racing Ford of Chase Briscoe and the number 22 Team Penske Ford of Joey Logano each had 1 lug nut not safe and secure. The numbers 5, 11, and 22 of Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Logano will go back to NASCAR Research and Development Center in Concord, North Carolina for further inspection. Now, how did the race results handle for the others? Well, we're going to give you the entire thing. Larson first, Elliott second, Harvick third, Busch fourth, Hamlin fifth, William Byron sixth, Martin Truex Jr. seventh, Christopher Bell eighth, Joey Logano ninth, Austin Dillon 10th, and going down the line to 40th place, Chad Fincham gets the As the Beaver. You know, if you watch the old comedy show, Leave It to Beaver, it was always Hugh Beaumont. And I forgot who played his wife. Tony Dow didn't play his wife. But they introduce Mr. and Mrs. Cleaver, then Wally, and Jerry Mathers as the Beaver, who Ward was always hard on. Anyway, June always said, Ward, you're always hard on the Beaver. Yes, but what about the kid? Oh, there you go. 18 minutes of this show have already been reproduced. All right, let's get to some headlines before we get back to more of the details. Or we'll just do the details. Here we go. National Football League action. Tom Brady Oh boy. Byron Kennedy is something of a local legend in the Tampa Bay area. After this weekend, getting and then giving back the ball from Tom Brady's 600th career touchdown pass. The Buccaneers have reportedly agreed to give the 29-year-old candidate. The Buccaneers have reportedly agreed to give the 29-year-old Kennedy, including season tickets and autographed memorabilia, in exchange for the ball he originally got from a celebratory Mike Evans. But Brady insisted on Monday Night Football with the Manning brothers, Peyton and Eli, that he's chipping in by giving Kennedy a Bitcoin. Said Brady, jokingly, Byron lost all his leverage when he gave up the ball. He should have held it, but I'm also giving him a Bitcoin. So at the end of the day, I think he's making out pretty well. Comment not answerable. Valued at just under $63,000, the digital currency would mark one of the biggest prizes Kennedy has received in exchange for granting the Bucs abrupt game day request. The team has already committed to giving him 2 signed jerseys and a signed helmet from Brady, a signed Mike Evans jersey, as well as the wide receiver's game cleats, plus $1,000 credit to the Buccaneers store and season tickets for the remainder of 2021 and all of 2022. Speaking of finances, Brady also joked on the Manning brothers Manning cast on the ESPN family of networks. Clyde Christensen, his quarterback's coach, should not be a model for his TB12 fitness program, as Peyton suggested. There you go. All right. We're done with that. Yes, we are. We're at 12:21 a.m. We're gonna steam through this and hopefully be done before the sun comes up and the dawn is broken. Okay, we have completed our mission here. No, because we still got headlines. Yes. Now we've already done the Seattle, so let's get on with it. In baseball action, the St. Louis Cardinals have hired Oliver Marmol, the 35-year-old, as the team's next manager. The club announced today. The 35-year-old becomes the 35-year-old becomes the youngest manager in Major League Baseball after the club surprisingly fired Mike Shildt earlier this month. Marmol is also the youngest Cardinal manager since Marty Marion, who managed the 51 team at 34. Marmol served last season as Cardinals bench coach under Shildt and has been a part of the team's Major League Baseball staff since 2017. He's a former Cardinal draftee and a minor leaguer who also served as hitting coach in the minors. Marmol also boasts managerial experience at the minor league level. He guided Johnson City and Palm Beach, part of the Cardinals system. Across 5 seasons as a Cardinals minor league manager, he compiled a record of 268 and 255 for a progressively point totaled to 544 with 4 postseason appearances, more than the Detroit Lions. The Cardinals had a managerial vacancy. Has been one of the biggest surprises of the season. Shildt was fresh off a 92-win campaign and a postseason berth, was let go. Also, Shilt's win percentage of .559 across 3 seasons is the highest figure for a Cardinals manager since John King's .560 in the early 60s. And there you go, right there. All was not wise in the Manning cast on Monday Night Football on ESPN. That's right. The Saints and Seahawks squared off on Monday night, but neither side is nearly as entertaining as Marshawn Lynch, the former Pro Bowl running back, always one to deliver colorful commentary. Yes, indeed. The longtime Seahawks star was the first guest on Peyton and Eli Manning's ESPN2 broadcast on Monday's Week 7 finale, and he had no shortage of quips in between a live F-bomb and jokes about the Manning brothers' legacy. Lynch also pondered a hypothetical comeback with the Buccaneers and recounted stories of teammates hunting Skittles for him during his game days. 35-year-old Lynch hasn't played since 2019 when he had a 1 year. But after admitting he took 3 shots of Hennessy in prep for his Monday Night Football appearance, he recalled his playing days with joy and absolute lust, adding that his perceived as real throughout his playing career. I wonder what Candy thought. Yes, I wonder what Candy thought. I wonder what Candy thought. Okay, another college football coaching situation has opened up. That's right. Texas Tech has moved on from head coach Matt Wells, leaving one of the most mercurial roles in college football open with more than a month until a hire can be made. Now, Wells failed to earn a bowl trip during 3 seasons in Lubbock, but the program has only reached postseason twice since 2014. Firing Mike Leach more than a decade ago played a major role in the descent of the program, but so did the rise of other Texas-based programs like TCU, Houston, and Baylor, leaving the signature program of West Texas in a very dangerous spot. Since taking over at Texas Tech in 2011, athletic director Kirby Hocutt has done a strong job of hiring non-football coaches. Basketball coach Chris Beard built the program into a power, finishing as the national runner-up in 2019. Baseball coach Tim Tadlock won 3 Big 12 titles in 6 years, but Hocutt's resume remains with football. His first hire, Cliff Kingsbury, was an attempt to recapture the magic of Leash's air raid offensive system, but Kingsbury earned just a 35-40 record in 6 seasons. Yes, indeed, 6 seasons. Wells was a culture and development hire. Ultimately, neither worked. Hocutt now has a critical hire to make as the Big 12 goes through realignment, and it sure ain't good. So, who would be a good coach? Well, here's the candidates that they could consider. Jeff Traylor, the University of Texas San Antonio coach. Sonny Dykes, SMU coach. Graham Harrell, the USC offensive coordinator. Kendall Briles, the Arkansas offensive coordinator. And Jeff Levy, Ole Miss offensive coordinator. Wow. Jay Norvell, Nevada coach. There's a good idea. Billy Napier, Louisiana head coach. Joey McGuire, Baylor assistant head coach. Sonny Cumbie, Texas Tech interim coach. Eric Morris, UIW coach. So there you go. And speaking of college football, the usually calm and serene Michigan versus Michigan State game has now taken a step into a major production. Why? Both teams are undefeated, and now the network that's going to air the game, which is Fox, which announced that their big noon kickoff, which begins at 10 a.m. Eastern on the Big Rock Daddy Fox, will be in East Lansing in the stadium for the pre and post shows. But today they got a little company. Apparently, the copycats at ESPN, noting that College Game Day is the senior program, the senior pre and post show of all of collegedom. And, well, let's face it, Fox is now in their 3rd season of big football Saturday pregame shows. So they're going to be in East Lansing as well, but they're going to be in a different area than where Fox is. And yes, friends, Michigan and Michigan State will be Gussified, baby. That's right, Gus Johnson, Joe Klott, and Jenny Taft will be bringing you the game to a worldwide audience. Doggies. Now, why so much fuss over a rivalry game? Well, like I said, first, Michigan and Michigan State are undefeated. They are also in the top 10. That's right. That's exactly correct. Bleh. That is exactly correct, folks. And just how big is this game, you may be asking? You may be inquiring? Ooh la la bassoon. It is going to be a wild game. How wild? One team is number 8. The other team is number 9, I do believe. Do we have the top 25 AP? Oh, there we are. Thank you. Thank you. Call the control room. We get it. Alrighty. Now, here are the rankings for where Michigan and Michigan State are. Michigan is in 6th. Michigan State is in 8th. Both are undefeated, and it is going to be a madhouse in Michigan State and around the campus. All of the folks who are covering this game, from national to the local media, gird the loins, protect the cameras, and get ready to run like stink. Because we all know that the Spartans are the home team this game over in East Lansing at Spartan Stadium. And we know, win or lose, the Spartan faithful will, shall we say, give notice to how good or bad the Spartans were. Either way, if there are any couches left outside, please remove them and chain them to your homes. Why? Because apparently couches are the number one weapon to be burned, win or lose. Personally, I hope they treat this as just another game and not try to run rampant through the streets. In fact, I understand the police presence is going to be exceptionally high for this game. Joy and hallelujah. So, folks, enjoy your game. I'll be watching it from the safety and sanity of my home here in our palatial place of living, which we call a studio. Okay, so that does it for that. We got some sad news to report, and it is indeed sad news. Tragedy struck the NFL officiating family this past Sunday as replay official Carl Madsen passed away while returning home from the Kansas City Chiefs Tennessee Titans matchup in Nashville, Tennessee. He was 77 years old. Madsen worked as an on-field and off-field official for nearly 25 years on NFL.com. He spent 12 seasons as an on-field ref from 97 to 2008 before transitioning to the replay official in 2009. NFL Referees Association also released a statement on the passing of Madsen per Pro Football Talk. Quote, Carl will be missed by those who worked with him on the field and in replay. He had a nickname among his fellow officials, a Big Country, which was not only related to his size, but to his big personality as a warm and generous man, end quote. The details surrounding Madsen's death are unknown. He was among the most experienced of the league's replay officials. Once again, Carl Madsen passed away at the age of 71, doing what he does best. So there we go on that lovely little bon mot in our final. No, we've already done that. We've already done that, guys. Can we move to the final little story here? Why don't we do this? Now, by the way, tomorrow starts the World Series. Now, if you remember way back when politics entered the All-Star game, Georgia has voted in some new election rules, which personally, I read it all, and I found them to be very fair. We're not going to politicize, but because of cancel culture and some ill-informed folks, baseball and Major League Baseball took the knee and sent the All-Star game to Denver. Yeah. We'll explain. Denver has a even worse side of the cloth, if you don't mind, the electoral cloth. Should have stuck it in Atlanta. So now, guess who's in the World Series? The Atlanta Braves and the Houston Astros. Game one tomorrow night. You can catch it on Fox, on ESPN Radio. For those of you in Espanol, you can catch it on Fox Deportes, and on the radio side on the all-new, formerly known as Univision Deportes Radio, but now known as TUDN, TUDN, Televisa Univision Deportes Network Radio. That's what I'm going to do. I love listening to the worlds from different countries and different inflections. So there you go. So the World Series begin Tuesday. Good luck to both teams. We want Atlanta to win. The way things look, they're both equal in everything, but Houston is Houston. So I'm thinking strongly. I'm taking the Braves. Go full plate. And as Dan O'Toole would say, in the simple respects of everything, always take the over. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take the over. Take the over, not the under, but always take that over. Take that over. If it's over something, take it. All right. Okay, let's keep going and going and going. Let's go for some soccer action, football in the Latin America zone. And we're at 12:36. By the way, Mr. Nick Ricada is right now doing his show, Lost Blaming the Interwebs, with Mr. Nick Ricada, the humble Minnesota lawyer. He has a good show tonight. Whether we can find it here, it will be even funner. He has a good show tonight. Let's just boop that here. There we go. Oops. I forgot a letter. There we go. There we go. Tonight on Ricada Law, it's a rough day. Let's cleanse it with a Rittenhouse motion hearing. Rah! So that's what he's going to talk about. That's going to be fun. You know it? It is going to be fun. So you can check Nick out and his guests tonight about right after this broadcast is over. And, well, it's almost over. So let's begin with a spin, boys and girls. Let's see what happened on the Monday board. And might be an easy board tonight. In the National League North, Bradford over Blythe Spartans 2-1. In the South, it's Chelmsford City and Dartford tied at 0. In the Scottish Cup, Clydebank 1, Elgin City 1. Lowland League, Celtic over Cumbernauld Colts 2-0. Irish Premier, Larne and Linfield tied at 1. The other Irish Premier, that was the Premiership. This is the Irish Premier Division. Waterford over Bohemians 2-1. St. Patrick's Athletic over Dundalk 1-0. Spanish La Liga, Celta Vigo over Getafe 3-0. In the Danish, it's Viborg over Aalborg 5-2. Portuguese Premier League action. Sporting Braga over Gil Vicente 1-0. Boavista and Belenenses tied at 0. Russian Premier League, Lokomotiv Moscow over Sochi 2-1. Sochi yet to apologize for the sucky Winter Olympics. Swedish. If you want to learn Swedish, you must learn from a Swiss person. Degerfors 2, Orbro 1. In Turkish Super League, it was Beşiktaş 2, Galatasaray 1. And on the streets of Brazil, Atletico Goianiense 2, Grêmio Nada. That's right. Zerto. Zerp. Or nil, as it's called. And you know what? You're going to love this. I mean, you really are, because we've only got one. I mean, we've did the NHL, the NBA, our Monday night little hoopla. We have did we forgot. We've got a segment. Yes. We forgot. There's probably nothing to discuss, but we'll find out. Shallst we? We shallst. Yes, we shallst, and we shallst with pride. Okay, the American Hockey League had no games, which in transgression. And before you say, well, did the Ontario Hockey League have any action? Nope, they did not. They did not have any action. They will, however, have action on Wednesday. So there you go. Which means, ladies and gentlemen, as Ed McMahon would say to Karnak the Magnificent, we hold, in paraphrase, we hold in our hand the final segment, Act 1, because there's more to this. In fact, why don't we do it right now? We were supposed to shout out our friends over at TNT, and we will right now, but we had that power outage last night. Well, today I finally went over to WLNS TV Channel 6 in Lansing to get my prize for winning week 6 of the college football contest. And here it is. It's a nice bag. It's got the WLNS TV6 crest. I will learn how to see camera. There you go. And it's very spacious. It's got a lot of pockets and silicone gel. Anyone need breast implants? Anyway, oops. Yeah, I do that with a cat. I better just take these and dispense with them the only way I know how. This right in here. Okay. This past Saturday, our friends over at AEW, All Elite Wrestling, they had a live Saturday night edition of Dynamite. And we say this because they decided for the first time ever, if you remember many moons ago, when college football on ABC was the only place in town, the only game in town, then they cut a deal with CBS. And ABC, the original home of college football, had a broadcast after every college football game called the Prudential College Football Scoreboard. Then Prudential said bye-bye and went over to CBS and did the same thing, the Prudential College Scoreboard. Okay, for CBS and the CBS college football games. We brought it back as we were doing our college football games, calling it not the Prudential College Football Scoreboard because, well, they don't sponsor us, and so we call it that just for S&Gs. Anyway, Tony Khan, the owner, the grandmaster of AEW Funster that he is, decided that on their AEW YouTube channel, they will do a live, yes, I said a live little thing about college football, little college football scoreboard show right before the TNT broadcast of AEW Saturday Night Dynamite. Since the show is returning this Wednesday night, you get the idea. Maybe they'll have it on basis for Saturday. Maybe they'll do it again this Saturday. I would love that. I liked it. It was Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and Mr. College himself, Taz. And if you haven't seen it, you got to. It was, I'm going to say this, it kicked. It was fan-damn-tastic. Uh, Tony Schiavone was in his element. Well, besides wrestling, he used to do a sportscast on, if I'm not mistaken, the 50,000 watt power mule of Atlanta, GA, WSB Atlanta, AM 750. Now, I may, fudge that, but still, he would do college games. Okay. He also did a minor league team in Georgia. I think it was Marietta, I do believe. Yes. Anyway, long story short, since technically we are unable, nor can we play the soundbite because we don't have permission. Maybe we will next time if they do it again. It was a loose, they were looser than ever before. And the one line I loved from Jim Ross, the man, the humor this guy has would make Bob Newhart king. Okay. They were talking about Ruby Soho and Penelope Ford, a match that they were going to have it would be their first match in the TBS Championship tournament. And Taz was talking about Penelope Ford's use of brass knucks. And JR got off a good line that just broke down the other two folks, the other two anchors away. He said, the last time a woman put brass knucks on me, she's long gone. And Schiavone and Taz cracked up. To see it, just go to YouTube and, as I say, enjoy. Yes, enjoy, darlings, enjoy. Yes, enjoy. Yes. It was AEW Dark Presents College Football Saturday Dynamite pregame, which it was. I don't know how they're going to do it on Wednesday. Maybe they'll do it on Saturday, next Saturday. But TNT, why don't you give these guys college football on Saturday night? Give them a chance to wet their college football whistles, especially when you got the Michigan State game, you got Oklahoma's game, and of course you have a game, which is of course Georgia versus the Florida Gators. And yes, I'm going to say it, Gator fans, you've been jinxed, but by Taz. Taz. Taz jinxed you, not Schiavone, but Taz jinxed you. So if you lose, blame him. He's a New Yorker, so he's easily to blame. Anyway, to Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone, and the aforementioned Taz, along with Tony Khan and their gang behind the scenes over at Lion Video. And from now on, I'm going to call it the TBS truck for sentimental reasons. So to the gang in the TBS/Lion Video truck, you guys done good. You gave college football fans like me a great memory. Please continue to give us all some memories. We need a very loose college football scoreboard show. I mean, you guys were great. You were better than a regular college football scoreboard show. In fact, Tony Khan, I think you found another niche fulfillment there. Anyway, tune in Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite on TNT. Then, of course, remember, January 5th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, because of hockey and other things in this wide world that TNT is embroiled in, you'll be watching AEW Wednesday Night Dynamite exclusively on TBS, where wrestling began many years ago under a man who was an outrageous captain named Ted Turner. Anyway, there you go from that. And we're not done yet. So give us a few moments. Wow, we got 10 minutes of a show. Think we can break the record? I don't know, but it's going to be fun to find out. Let's see if we can at least do some scores as we go around the world in how many minutes? We have no idea. Why? Because I don't have a watch. But here we go. By the way, as Tony Schiavone would say, support your favorite college team, even if it is Oklahoma. Me, I'm Switzerland. When it comes to Michigan and Michigan State, be it football, hockey, baseball, or basketball, I'm freaking Switzerland. Because Jackson is right between Spartan Nation and Wolverine Central. You think I'm going to pick one or the other? Find out on Friday night at 11:35. Just keep it to yourselves, okay? Find out 11:35 Friday night. But for now, keep it to yourself. Okay, let's do this. Yes, let's do this. So, there we go. Thank you. Okay, I've already given that. Okay, let's give you an update on the one game in the NBA. Los Angeles Clippers, with 12 minutes left to play in regulation. They lead the Portland Trail Blazers 113-84. Let's go to baseball, and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks defeated and totally spanked in the woodshed like a rented mule. The Chibalati Marines 15-7. Senga got the win for the Hawks. He's 10-3. Mima got the loss for the Marines. He's 6-7 and is right now scrubbing toilets with a toothbrush. And the York Buffaloes over the Recton Golden Eagles 4-0. Yamamoto with the win for the Buffaloes. He's 18-5. Tanaka gets the loss. He's a paltry 4-9. In South Korea, the Korean baseball organization, the Kaiwon Heroes, defeated the Hanwha Eagles 9-4. On Woo Jin got the win for the Heroes. He's 10-8. Oh Dong Uk. Make up your own jokes. I just read the names. Got the loss. He's 0-1. With a name like Oh Dong Uk, you are a winner in our books. Oh Dong Uk. The LG Twins and the Lottie Giants played to a 4-4 tie. No winners, no losers. And to update the NFL score, it was New Orleans 13, Seattle 10. There you go. And guess what? We're done. That's right, group. We have made it. The mystery, the insanity, the dance has now been completed. We thank you very much for joining us. And we want to wish you all a very pleasant and peaceful evening. And we will see you all tomorrow night at 11:35 right here on youtube.com/Lugnut6 for the latest in sports action. That's right. When our sporty balls get filled, we show them off right here. But we do it with dignity and a bit of respect, too. So thank you all very much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the L2C Media Network and L2C Sports. And, of course, our immediate partners in some way or another at YouTube. See you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.